Welcome back to Raw the podcast. I'm your host, Allie, founder of The Cheeky Clean, a wellness brand revolutionizing consuming. Here today with Lisa Gianvito, back in the studio. Welcome back, my shining light.
Oh, thank you for having me. Such a joy.
Such a joy. I asked Lisa to come back and join us in studio again today because I was thinking about what I'm always thinking a little ahead of what I want to share on the podcast and topics as each week arises. I really try to find guests and topics, whether solo or with a guest, that really align with the authentic journey that I'm personally on. I spend a lot of time, as does Lisa, really doing a lot of inner work, a lot of spiritual work, trying to shift our learned patterns, shift our realities, come into a deeper level of consciousness to ultimately live the fullest, happiest, lightest version that we can while we're on this short time on earth. And throughout the process of the work that I do and has really kicked up over the last year, Lisa has been, and you guys know her because if she hasn't been on the podcast, I've been mentioning her on every podcast. But Lisa has been instrumental and along with me throughout the whole way as a friend, a confidant, a guiding light, an accountability partner, and just family through it all. So thank you for coming back today. And hopefully we can just have a real convo about what we're working on and going through and learning, and that it can help resonate with some others.
Well, thank you. That was heart exploding. It was very much so.
I feel like heart exploding is the theme of our life lately.
It is. It
Mhm.
is because every day is a new day. Sometimes you're like on top of the world and then some old part of you sneaks up and attacks you out of nowhere. And then it's a whole new world, right?
Mhm.
And then you got to talk yourself down off the cliff or make a phone call and start all over again. And
Start again.
that's the work.
Exactly. I think it's so cool to share real experience and why I'm so passionate about the podcast Raw and putting not only helpful resources and wisdom out, but alongside actual journeys that people are going through. Because I think there's a relatability that comes with seeing and learning from someone else's lived experience. And both of us are what I would say, similar in the sense that we haven't always been heart exploding individuals.
No. No, not at all.
And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this work that is personal work, but I feel so strongly about wanting to help others see what is possible from a level of peace and gratitude genuinely that can be attained in this lifetime from someone who felt so far from that for so long, because it is available to all of us.
Yes.
And it's so powerful to know and empowering to know that those feelings are accessible, even if they seem so far out of reach right now.
I agree 100%. And not having questions that you would prepare for a podcast guest. And we're just
Yep.
out here like throwing whatever at me is great because that's what I like.
That's what you like. And
Yeah,
that's what
'cause
we
it's
do on a
real.
daily basis.
Yeah, 'cause it's real.
Exactly.
You mentioned having, that accountability partner.
Mhm.
And I think that's been life-changing for
Mhm.
me,
Mhm.
especially with the new project that I'm working on. And having that accountability partner and writing out your dream every day.
Mhm.
And then I read my dream into my voicemail and I send my dream to you. So I'm accountable.
Mhm.
And then you read it or you listen to it. And then I listen to it myself,
Mhm.
right? It's just programming all of this. So I think the accountability, if you want to talk about that in that process,
Oh my gosh,
because
absolutely.
we are on day 68, I believe. I like how my little thing records the days.
Yes.
And mine is a full page that I write out. and I have it memorized. I know exactly, and I feel it now,
Mhm.
like, and I listen to my voice, and my voice was so, monotone and
Mhm.
robotic in the
Mm.
beginning, and now it's so light and, like, fun, and, like, I've embodied that whole new person.
Totally. So what we're talking about is these, I guess we would call it an I am statements. And we were studying a few different inspirational speakers that we're into. I've talked about the book Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life before. That's kind of where this started. And the inspiration that was taken from Dr. Bob Proctor, who wrote that book, came from Neville Goddard, who now we're also like kind of going back through the history of this wisdom and learning as much as we can.
Yeah.
But Dr. Bob Proctor created this incredible wealth, and both in and out wealth that's not just financially.
Right.
It is, full embodiment of his desires come true. And kind of in the same way we were talking, he in his 20s, really kind of felt like he was going nowhere in his life,
Right.
was what he would feel as the opposite of living to his highest version, and really taught himself through this energetic shift and these practices how to embody his most unlimited self and attract these highest desires to him. And so he's put out so much beautiful work to then help others and has countless success stories of others who have gotten there. But one of the core tenets of his journey and practices to get there was speaking this kind of like dream statement,
Yeah.
this desire of your future self, but in the tense of now. So it's
Present
not
tense. Yep.
right. It's not like in the future I will be.
Right.
It's I am grateful now that I am.
Right.
And we both have, I want to say they're like, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes long in our voice note. So we write it out and then we talk it into a voice note every morning and send it to each other. And I listen to Lisa's and she listens to mine and I listen to mine back. And it seems like such a simple practice, but even the first part of writing it, I think, was an interesting process
Mhm.
because you have to actually, you think about these things. The part of changing your paradigm is shifting yourself from this doubt mentality. And it's
Lack.
like, there's something in us that's like, I want to do this at some point,
Right.
but I don't know if I can. What if these limiting
Yeah.
things? And so to actually put it on paper in that present tense is kind of like uncomfortable and empowering at the same time.
Yeah.
And then to speak it to someone that's outside of yourself and
Yeah.
hear yourself say it back, it's a
It's humbling.
humbling
Yeah. And vulnerable.
process and
Very
very
vulnerable. Yeah.
vulnerable. And we've been doing that now for 68 days.
Yep.
First thing we do every single morning. And I've noticed sometimes on some mornings where it's funny because it's like maybe I'm waking up and my thoughts are going backwards a little bit, and
Yeah.
I wake up with that doubt. I wake up with the I have to do this, or I'm never going to do this, or oh my gosh, am I spending too much money, or not investing properly, or whatever it might be. Crazy that I'm not at my job, whatever it is. And or I'm just physically feeling heavy or
Right.
whatever it is. I do my same voice note like I do to you every day. And you're like, I sense a heaviness in your voice. What's going on? And I'm like, well, now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I do feel a little bit heavy. And this
Yeah.
is kind of what I'm feeling because it's this opportunity to not only hold each other accountable to make sure we're doing it every single day, because if not, we would skip it some
Right.
days.
Yeah, you would.
You would. And two, to listen to each other and hear in each other's voice. Are we clear in it? Do we
Yes.
mean it? What is the feeling behind those words?
Yeah.
Or are we just saying them to say them? And when we can tell when each other are just saying them
Yeah.
and we say, what's going on? Want to jump on a call
Yeah.
and talk it through.
Yeah.
And that I think it's been life changing for both of us. I've
Yeah.
seen such an evolutionary shift in both of us over the last
Yeah. So have
2
I.
months.
Yeah. And what's interesting is our conversation that we have, that you wake up feeling with doubt and lack,
Mhm.
right? And I think doing that practice every day and hearing your tone of
Mhm.
voice and the energy that you put behind your words
Mhm.
means so much.
It means so much.
Yeah, it's so powerful we just talked about words,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And how we have to really, before we speak, is it is our words going to cause separation or connection?
Totally.
It's really important for me now to have conversations and to think that. Or, I was listening to or read something from David Guillaume's in an email about like gossip, right? And when you engage in gossip, or even if you're listening to gossip, you not only hurting yourself, the other person, but the person you're talking about energetically, right?
Absolutely.
That's how powerful our words are. So,
So true. Kabbalah, David's actually said before that evil speech is
yeah.
actually more harmful and more damaging than murder.
Yeah, because it's called bloodshedding. I
Yeah.
think gossip is called bloodshedding.
And it's like putting this negative frequency onto people. And
Right.
you're actually, when you're, say gossiping or talking bad about someone or yourself,
Yeah,
you're actually harming yourself more than the other people. And it's detrimental to your own growth.
right.
It's so limiting.
It's such a low frequency,
Such a low
you know?
frequency.
And then
Totally.
you could be, riding high and then all of a sudden you're in this gossip words, right? And
Mhm.
next thing you know, you're way down here. And then when you get down here, this is when we start reaching in the past and start grabbing all that stuff. Well, oh, I don't think I can do that. No, that's never going to happen,
Mhm.
right? And then we just start spiraling down.
Totally.
So it's really good to keep your side of the street clean.
It is, as you always say.
Yeah.
It's so, it is such a hard mindset to get to because of the way we're programmed as a society to truly believe in this limitless capability that we carry, but it is available to all of us.
Oh, we've seen it.
We've seen it.
Like, of course.
Of course. But it's like people don't, and that's me. I mean, everyone. It's like, you look at people who you admire and you think they must be, whether it's an athlete
Right.
or a business owner or whatever it is, you think, oh, they must be blessed with talents. I don't believe in that. I believe that we're all blessed with
Yeah.
specific talents, and
Yeah.
there's something inside
Uniqueness.
of
Yeah.
us that when we feel this envious or
Hmm.
this desire of, oh, I wish I had that, there's a reason why. It's because you're capable of that.
Right.
You're just not believing in yourself or the process to
Right. And
get
you
you
haven't
there.
prepared the vessel to even accept it if you received it.
100%.
It's kind of that saying when like people that win the lottery, then
Mhm.
they end up losing it all. It's because they have that doubt, lack
Mhm.
mindset,
Mhm.
right? That they can't hold on to that energy because they're not
Mhm.
prepared for it.
Mhm.
So they
So
lose it all.
true.
So it just goes to show in those circumstances, like you really have to prepare your vessel. And how we do that is having accountability, a partner, it's reading the book, it's, meditation and more meditation. It's
Mhm.
sitting still and really getting to know yourself and what your triggers are. That's a big one for me. Like
Yeah.
I know my triggers, and before I could ride those out for a long time, and now I feel it, and then the next I feel it coming out my mouth
Yeah.
now,
Yep.
and then I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 no."
Yep.
Right?
Mhm. Whereas before, both of us, it's like we would use that trigger to create this narrative and
Yes.
then
Run with it.
run with it and self-sabotage everything in our path,
Yeah.
and that's so damaging.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Um, when it comes to preparing the vessel, I want to go back to that for a minute because I do think that's such a important part of um
Everything.
everything and overall wellness.
Yes.
And it's what I always say is a body, mind, and soul approach because it does require everything. And,
Mm.
I've been feeling this profound shift for the last year. It's a year ago. Actually, is it this week that we went to Dr. Joe?
September 15th.
Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
basically almost a year ago. By the time this podcast comes out, it will have been almost a year to the date that we went to Dr. Joe Dispenza for the first time. And both have been in this incredible evolutionary journey since. But something shifted profoundly in me over the last 2 months. One, we started to really dial into being accountable for
Right.
each other and doing that work, and then I did that cleanse.
Yeah. The cleanse.
Yeah. So Lisa has this way, and it's because and you'll start to see and people think it's woo-woo, but just keep meditating and you'll get there too. But the cool thing about stillness and clearing out this clutter in your brain is you start making space for this intuition, this inner knowing, and
That we all have.
that we all have,
Yeah.
but you've spent so much time in your life tapping into it.
Yeah.
So you're able to access that, which is what gave you this ability to help so many clients for so many years in coaching and Reiki and other work that you did. But, you tap in quick and you're able to like give me this guidance. And, we're on a random Wednesday. We try to get together once a week if we
Right.
can. And if we can't, then we talk on the phone once a week at least. At least these days. It's been a lot. But we're sitting there having coffee and just talking about life. And you're like, it's time for you to do a cleanse. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I just had Melissa from Green Farm on. So it was timely in my brain. I had
Right.
just been thinking about, I've never done one. That's interesting. And you're like, no, this is going to be shifting for you.
Right.
And I'm like, I mean, yeah, because I've never done one. So of course it's going to be. But I had no idea how holistically shifting it would be,
Right.
and how, as I was challenged to change my physical habit, I was learning the exact correlation that that was having with these emotional habits, spiritual habits that I also needed to adjust and align in my life, like the caffeine, for example.
Yeah, because you were dying.
Yeah, I called Lisa.
Like 2 hours, you're awake. I'm dying. I can't do it.
So I seriously called you and was like, I can't. I was like distraught.
I'm like, oh, stop. Just stop.
I pretty much almost gave up after hour 2, but Lisa was shaming me. I'm just kidding. I'm like, Lisa, she's such a badass. She's like, it's been 2 hours, get over it. And so I figured I better get over it and keep pressing on. But it's like so funny because the mind, that's what I realized is how powerful the mind is
Mhm.
and these limiting thoughts that we have. And genuinely, had I not had my accountability partner, from a very basic physical standpoint, I was like, I had a headache. I'm over this cleanse. Why am I doing this? I don't need this. I'm just not going to do
Right.
it. And it's the same way with, okay, so what else in my life am I just not committing to because it's easier not to?
Right. It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable.
No one wants to be uncomfortable. It's hard,
Yeah.
but it's where the biggest changes happen.
I did a liver cleanse after going through my whole ordeal with my stomach stuff after having H. pylori. And on day 4 or 5, day 4, I think, I woke up in the middle of the night with a panic attack. Like, I
Mm,
hadn't had panic attacks in, like, years and years. It was just all this stuff coming up,
yeah.
right? We don't
Yeah.
realize what a toxic load everything puts on our body,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
between the traumas, the emotions, and when you start clearing that out, like, so much anger is stored in the liver. Right, and when I was
Totally.
clearing and anger is a big cocoon of mine, right? A big spiritual baggage that I hold. And when I was doing that, like, so much stuff came up. And I remember, like, I don't need to do this. I've done this long enough. I don't have to finish in the 9 days. I'm halfway
Totally.
there. Like, I don't have
Totally.
to do it. And then, this little voice inside is like, "Ride it out.
Ride it out.
Ride it out."
And it's so interesting because then once I got to the end of my cleanse,
Yes.
I felt keep
Ding.
it going.
Yeah. You're like,
Because
"I'm
I
never
felt
quitting."
I'm never quitting. I'm never eating again. No, I'm just kidding. I felt this profound peace and
Yeah.
also euphoria of being able to overcome such an obstacle and to sit with some of these things that did come up for me that were so heavy that I almost needed to detox past relationships, past patterns, like all of that. There were tears, there was heaviness, like, and I just felt through it all. And it was so necessary.
Yeah, people think that detoxes are just about starvation, elimination,
Mm-hmm.
and it has nothing to do with that at
No.
the end.
Yeah.
When you start to really cleanse and detox, the emotions that are stored in the body just have nowhere to go but up and out, right? And it's right there in your face. And
Really.
it's at that point, I mean, not just from doing the detox, but from all the different situations that we've been through.
Mm,
When you get to that point right there, when you're in the river, right, and you want to get to the other side, that's when you got to go all in.
yeah.
Like you got to go all in.
And just keep going.
Yeah, because that's when you're there and you're making that choice, like, should I quit? Should I not quit? Like, what you're saying is, maybe I'll go back to my comfortable old life and be miserable. And that way I can complain. And then on the other side, there's like all this, sunshine that this is who you always want to be, but you're so scared of her.
So scared. That's so profound. That's exactly, I think, what we mean when we're saying preparing the vessel. It's
Yeah,
like letting these things go that are holding us to this version of ourselves that isn't able to receive those
right.
things that are truly meant for us.
It's the past.
It's the
And
past.
it's the past.
Yeah.
Like, you have to let it go, and I know it's easier said than done, but that's inside of each one of those areas of our life is where we dig deep, and
Mhm.
we do it one by one,
Yeah.
you know? Baby steps.
Yeah, that past and the guilt and shame and fear that I was carrying for so long was really holding me rooted in this old self. And it's like I'm down the river, I'm like holding on to like the stick on the tree, like, no, like, but recently I've really just found such freedom in knowing that nothing in my past defines me.
Right.
And when you genuinely can feel that feeling,
It's good.
it is good.
Yeah.
And it opens space for what's meant to come to you to
Mhm.
come to you.
Yeah.
I never ever believed in like things happen as they're meant to, truly. And honestly, when I first started dating, I would get really annoyed when people would say, "It will find you when it's meant to." I'm like, screw you. Like, what do you even mean by that,
Right.
And it's this dynamic between people saying, "Oh, it'll find it when it's meant to," and other people saying, "Well, you have to really put yourself out there and go on 1 million Hinge dates a week and like fucking check the boxes." And I'm like, this is all chaos, okay? And what I really learned was none of it is about what you do to try to control the outcome, or if I do this, this, and this, then I'll find this partner. It's more about just not doing the things that are not in alignment with you.
Right.
And I was starting to tune in to, these physical sensations of, okay, so when I'm doing this cleanse, I've committed to, I'm still getting nutrients. There's absolutely no reason why I'm not starving to death, but there's this comfort that comes from food
Yeah.
that was so easy for me to see was such an attachment.
Mhm.
And it's like, that's exactly how it was with some of these relationships that were not in alignment for me.
Yeah.
But there was this comfort that came with, being attached to someone or someone giving you attention or liking you or whatever it is. And so you entertain these things thinking, oh, well, if something else better comes along, like then I'll shift it up. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Like you have to put this frequency out in the universe and commit to this new version of you.
Right. All
And
in.
and if you don't go all in and you're not willing to kind of sit in that whatever's meant for you isn't going to come.
No. It can't.
I can't.
Can't.
And it's like the second I started letting go of these things and really and uncomfortable conversations, in many cases.
Yeah, very uncomfortable conversation.
And it's crazy the things that come into your life then,
Right.
whether it's business, relationships, whatever it may be. And I think I'm curious to hear what your most like profound shift you think has been over the last few months since we've been doing some of this like deeper accountability work together. Because for me, it's a calmness
Mm.
internally
It's peace.
that I've never had before.
Me neither.
I would wake up reeling every day
Yes.
and what do I need to do and like control in order to make sure that my business moves forward, make sure that I'm not, on a street corner broke. To make sure that I'm attracting a guy. Like,
Right.
do. And it's this calm and peace that I've found recently where it's like, I mean, I was even like crazily like checking my bank account 17 times a day as if like something was going to dramatically shift or I just needed to like make sure that my money was still there. That's so scarcity.
Well, it's fear or faith.
It's fear or faith.
Pick one.
Pick one. Totally. So do you feel the same? I mean, has it been like peace? Like what are you noticing in the last few months that has been the most profound shift for you?
One, the same thing as control,
Mhm.
like letting go of control and
Mhm.
realizing I'm not in control, trusting the process of everything that is shaping up in my life. And I think also something that you and I talked about is that when we start to have this shift of going into this future self and having the accountability, the awareness factor is instant for me. And I just had a moment this past week, just being angry with somebody and then making this big story up, like, oh, they're resentful, and realizing as it's coming out of my mouth, Lisa, that's not true.
Totally.
This is how you're feeling about yourself. So you're creating something out there to reflect back to you what you need to learn.
Mm,
So settle down. And it was just that, talking through that whole process with you, knowing that every single thing is a mirror. And then feeling that like peace, like I'm back home again.
back home again.
I can feel that.
That disillusion of the ego
Yeah.
is really what I think both of us are leading with now in the world. It's so humbling
It's very humbling.
because we are kind of taught to and just us both being independent women in our lives and so career focused and we're kind of taught to like have this hardness
Yeah.
and it's easier and I guess learned to allow say an interaction to validate your ego.
Sure.
It's humbling to know that you have the power to change that dynamic
Yeah.
and that it's you reflected back.
Yeah.
It's
That's humbling.
it's humbling.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, the other thing is just this with the accountability is I love to fix everyone and I don't do it with the intention that I don't think you can do it yourself. I do it with this like, I just want to help. I just want you to feel good. I want you to enjoy your life. So I'm like all in. But then if they don't do it, I'm like, why aren't you doing it? Like
Mhm.
then that's the ego that comes in. And so I really noticed that and have taken a step back, and just listening to Neville Goddard recently of making myself a little scarce
Yes.
to people.
Yep.
And when they have an issue, just listen and
Mhm.
not. And that's hard for me, you know?
It's so hard. I think as natural guides, leaders, whatever it is, we do want to help other people. And
Especially when I have I have these tools and I'm like, oh, I've been doing this and this and this,
mhm.
and I don't know, every day's different for me. I'm not saying that I've conquered anything at all because it still work for me every single
Mm,
day. But I just want everybody to know it. I want everybody to have it. Like read the book, listen to the
yeah.
pocket, like do
Yeah.
it all,
Yeah.
And so I have to like reel it in, Lisa.
Mhm.
Okay, their vessel is not ready. They're not going to hear you. Just chill out.
Totally. And it just goes back to show like exactly what you said, the vessel. It's like if
Mm-hmm.
they're not ready to receive it, you're actually harming yourself
Yes.
by overgiving,
Yeah.
whether it's information, love,
Right.
anything it may be. And in just making yourself scarce,
Yeah.
do it and embodying your own work.
Well, you take it personal then,
Yeah. It's
and
like just by not having that wisdom that they're so used to you freely giving, the emptiness can be more profound than if you're over giving that wisdom to
right.
someone who can't hear it.
Yeah.
It's like the silence speaks louder than our teaching sometimes. And that's a powerful thing.
Yeah. And which was so nice because, we both had listened to that, but if you wouldn't have shared that back to me, like, "Go back and listen to this," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So, I mean, I was so grateful that you caught that,
Mhm.
as we
Well,
were
it's so
talking.
funny that I just had happened to listen to it that
Of
particular
course you
one.
did.
Of course I did. That particular one.
Right.
It's not even 24 hours prior.
Yeah.
That's what is so, yeah, I mean, it's such a blessing to have someone in life that you really can be on the vulnerable journey with. And I wanted to have you on today to like encourage people to, I'm sure it's not, of course, it's like we didn't come into each other's lives until we were ready for it. But it's like if you start to engage in some of this deeper work and start opening yourself to having people enter that will be in alignment with that journey, you'll start to build a friendship maybe with someone who's also doing the work or
Right.
someone who you share books with and you realize like you have something in common. It's like I can't recommend enough to foster that relationship
Yeah.
because just 2 years ago, I didn't even know you.
Well,
And
we did out there.
out there,
Yeah.
but it's like and
Yeah.
now it's really to have someone in your life and it's made other friendships, not that they're trivial by any means. I think every friendship has its space and
Sure.
importance and mirror back to
Yeah.
you. But to have someone who you can really be your true authentic self with, who does not judge you and who can see in yourself sometimes the things you can't see is such a gift. And so when you do find that person that is working towards something, a bigger version of themselves, wants to be better,
Right.
like link up with them in service to each other to
Yeah.
grow. You can find a partnership, a spiritual partnership, and a friend
Yeah.
that is not your significant other
Mhm.
that can be so evolutionary to your growth.
Right.
And I think it's one of the most, powerful alignments that can exist in this lifetime. So I'm so grateful for you.
Oh, thank you. I'm
Of
very grateful for
course.
you. I was watching the news last night and there was these two women who were retired, and both widowed,
Mm-hmm.
and they were in a book club, and this lady went out of her comfort zone and asked if she wanted to have coffee. Like she was scared, like she didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to do that. And they had coffee and they realized they like to travel and they both like to hike. And years later they have traveled the entire world
Wow.
and they just hike and they've become best friends
Wow.
out of nowhere.
That's
Out of just
amazing.
saying, "Do you wanna have coffee?" It seems like we have something in common.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if you meet someone somewhere and you guys connect and you click, it's like get out of your comfort zone. Just
yeah,
like we said with the cleanse, like getting out of that comfort zone rewards this space. It
yeah,
brings this opening that allows someone to enter or something to enter that is meant for
right.
you.
Well, every single thing in your life is in your life for a reason,
Mhm.
right? And a lot of times we miss it, and that's unfortunate. If you're having a conversation with somebody, don't be afraid to say, "Hey, would you like to go grab a coffee sometimes?" I mean, if they say no, fine,
Totally.
You have to put yourself out there.
You have to put yourself out there. And I think it's so, how think of how many coffee meetings you go on for work or whatever.
Right.
It's like foster the same type of energy towards a friendship.
Mm.
And it could be revolutionary for you. So, a couple of the other things that I think this work has been helping me learn is I don't know. I don't know if it's because of, I think there's many, theories behind why we are how we are. Come into
Yeah,
this life with it,
right.
your astrology, whatever it may be, the way you're raised, there's so many different ways that you can be in unconscious learned
Sure.
patterns. Uh, but and I think I've shared this on the podcast before, but I was diagnosed with OCD in 3rd grade. And for me, what OCD was like uncontrollable negative thoughts, this worst case scenario type thoughts that I was so hyper aware of as a child that I felt like I needed to do things, rituals, like obsessive type things in order to control the outcome of the worst case scenario things.
Right.
I would seriously be up for 3 hours in the middle of the night, or else, like, in my head, my family was gonna die and it would be all my fault. And so from such a young age, I was so hyper aware of this negative, uncontrollable thoughts that I was having. And I was never given tools on how to overcome those thoughts. I think I just learned that they weren't normal and how to just appear normal on the outside, even though inside I was still feeling these ways.
Mm.
And then that manifested in, perfectionism and in the way that I competed in sports and like I have to do this, this, and this in order for this to happen. But throughout the rest of my life, that same worst case scenario mindset was my core tenet of living.
Mhm.
And it did serve me in achieving things. But what I learned was those things I were achieving were not in alignment with my true being, and or they were way limited compared to what I could be had I learned how to release some of those thoughts and shift them into, well, what if the best case scenario
Right.
happens? So for me, it's kind of like detaching from these thoughts has been what I think stillness and meditation has given me. And the more that we're repetitively convincing ourselves and having this faith, which is really the fertilizer for these thoughts, faith that even when it feels delusional, that best case scenario is available. And actually, like, I know it's coming. It's created this narrative in my head for the first time at age 36 years old that is positive. And I wish I could just scream it to the world because it is true as a true testament to not any medication I was taking, not any, I mean, yes, I've done different therapeutic modalities, but it's really just like going inside and being with those thoughts and seeing like, are these serving me and how can I shift them?
Right.
And what are ways that I can force myself to think differently?
And are they true?
And are they true?
That's the biggest thing,
Totally.
you
And it's
know?
yielded such incredible shit, like change.
Yeah, because I told you you're a really good storyteller.
Such a good storyteller. And it's crazy the stories we tell
Yeah, it
ourselves
is.
and hold ourselves back from so much that could come into our worlds.
Yeah, you know, we just put out excuses.
Mhm.
If I would say I want to do this, but I can't because of this, I can't because of that. They're just all excuses,
Mm.
right? Because if you really wanted to do something, it's available,
Mhm.
right? It's that fear, right? Instead of having the faith and allowing the process to flow and
Mhm.
trusting in the process.
Mhm.
Um, I think it was Neville that says, when you go and plant your gardens, you don't dig it up every day to see if what the seed is doing,
Totally.
right?
Totally.
Instead, you have to go out there and you water it, you talk to it, and you trust the process that it's going to
Mhm.
grow into something. And I think that's what we do with our situations in our lives is, if something's not working, why isn't it working? We got to do this. I got to change this, right? And we don't ride it out and just
Mhm.
trust in the process
Mhm.
and trust that inner knowing. We all have this. For me, it's peace. Other people's, may have be like hope or something. But when I know that I'm flowing on the right path, it's this is like this peace comes over
Mm.
me. When I'm not, I have angst. I'm frustrated. I'm irritated. I'm angry. And if I notice that comes up, I instantly like, you need to sit still,
Totally.
you know?
Yeah. That faith is the ticket.
It is. It's
It
everything.
is. It's everything. And it comes from a space of knowing you're worthy of it
Mhm.
too. And I
Yeah.
think that's where preparing the vessel, doing these things of what choices can I make that I can actually do? And
Right.
it's so hard to see it in the moment when you're feeling so lonely or hungry, whatever those feelings are in the moment. It's riding it out in faith of that beautiful feeling that's coming
Yeah.
and knowing that it's coming. But doubt is the enemy of faith, and it's easy to get caught up in that doubt and then act on it. when it comes to this like law of attraction dynamic, it's wild because in some of these like learned patterns that I gained, I was saying I was always like doing this so that this would happen. But in that control and in that force and in that overaction, I was exerting so much energy in so many things that were not yielding me towards my best version.
Right.
And I think one of the biggest changes I've noticed over the last 2 months is this, I said calm and peace, this knowing, but then it's also this kind of trust in, I don't want to say doing less, because it's hard to describe, but
Hmm.
it's like action comes from becoming, meaning I was getting very distracted in the first half of this year when I shifted out of corporate and into my owning
Yes.
my own business, because I felt like if I just do, the more you do, odds are in your favor, one of them's gonna hit. And that's just not it's not how it works. I was burning out
Yeah.
quicker in owning my own business out of purpose than I was in, 13 years in the chemical business. It's the same in corporate. It's the same dynamic. Like as of recently, it's not even that I've slowed down. It's that I've tapped in and I'm more focused on the doing of my internal frequency
I'm over here like, come on, pull it out. Pull it out. Keep going.
and less about like checking boxes of putting energy out that isn't in flow.
Yes. Yeah.
I really am prioritizing things in my life now over the grind that I never would have in the past. And it's creating this like energetic frequency that things just drop into life then. And it's then all of a sudden I have this overwhelming feeling of, oh, you know what? I should reach out to them and see if they want to come on the podcast. It's not this force energy of like, oh my God, I have to plan my podcast guests for the next 6 weeks. Who should I try to control the outcome of who can come on? Let me like hit everyone's inbox. It's like, no, it's more just all of a sudden I have this feeling where I'm like, this person would be perfect. I wonder if they would be open to it. Let me reach out to them. And I'm doing the action based on what's in alignment. And every single time it works.
Yeah. It has to.
It has
It's
to.
law, right?
It is law. And that's what they mean by the law of attraction.
That's exactly it.
Yes.
But those circumstances weren't available to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying the 3-day cleanse made those happen, but what I am saying that allowed you to clear out so much space in your environment,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you did, in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You let go of social media. You
Mm-hmm.
had no distractions. So it was all you, your purpose, and you knew exactly, you had crystal clarity on where you wanted to go and what you wanted to do. That's the law of attraction. And then it falls in.
It falls in. Exactly. And it's like instead of running around chasing my tail,
Right.
I'm going forwards.
Yeah, but it really it is hard to explain like you said. You're you're really not doing, you know, and it's not like you're just sitting around on your ass
No.
waiting for stuff to happen,
Yeah.
but you're doing it with a sense of purpose and a sense of intention without all the distractions and without all the negativity
Mhm.
around you,
Mhm.
right? Because you have dialed in and you have that focus in your vessel, right?
Totally.
Feels good and feels alive, and you're not feeding it sugar for distract it. You're not feeding it alcohol to distract it. You're not doing all the things, right, to distract you from what you really want to do.
Exactly. The social media, all the
Yeah.
stuff. It's like I was getting so caught up in the distractions
Yeah.
that I couldn't even hear where I was supposed to
Right.
go, and I was running in 12 directions.
Because you have people in your ear like, "Oh, I should be doing this. I have to
Mhm.
they're doing that. I have to do this."
Mhm.
But, we're all unique individuals and we all have a calling. And
Mhm.
you won't hear your calling if you're running.
You won't hear it. That's so true.
You have to sit still.
Mm.
2 minutes. That's it. Just
That's it.
2 minutes.
Yeah, and it's the more that I realize that, the more it's so funny because it's like I enjoy my stillness and quiet time, and whether it's a walk or meditating or what reading, listening to specific things, studying, I enjoy that so much. And um it is work, but it doesn't feel like it.
No, because it's fueling you.
It's fueling me. And it's also simultaneously, because I'm focusing on those things, distractions are falling off. So it has come with letting go. And I think I was so
Mm,
scared and attached to loss. Like I was so worried about loss before,
right.
whether it was a dude I was dating for 3 weeks or a friend that I no longer really vibed with, whatever it was, I was so like gripping tightly to not wanting to lose anything. But what I've realized is as I've kind of like taken a beat and stopped like, throwing myself all over social media all weekend and taking intentional time for myself, like not going out on dates or dinners or whatever it might be if it doesn't feel right, and instead spending my time doing what I do like to do. I've never felt more fulfilled by the connections that have come into my life, the work that I've been doing, whether it's business or personal work, the fuel for my body, the way I'm eating, the way I'm working out. Like it all starts to like when you hit that flow, it just feels so good. And yeah, like I said, since I was little, I would never describe myself as being a calm, peaceful person. And I think anyone who's ever, until now, anyone who's ever been in a relationship with me in the past would attest to that. Like I was this like hothead, reactive person. I think my roommates in college could attest to that. Like that's just the type of person I was. And I was like, oh, but this is what makes me so ambitious. Like this is my double-edged sword. Like
Yeah.
I don't take shit. And it's like, no, but I've blocking myself. And the more I've released and let go and like softened into this peaceful space, it is so freaking cool. The things that drop into your life that are meant to be there. It's such a blessing. And it really makes my heart explode with gratitude.
I was thinking about that this morning, trying to explain like gratitude
Mm-hmm.
because it just seems so silly. Like,
Yep.
don't you know you're supposed to be grateful? Like, most of us learn that growing up. But I think gratitude at this level is something that it's just not the words, it's a feeling
Mm,
that starts to build inside of you that you really do feel like your heart is going to explode, that you're so incredibly grateful for the moment, the person, the place, the thing, that it brings tears to your eyes.
it does. It's that whole body feeling.
Yes. And when you get there, everything just starts to fall in place and you're doing nothing but doing everything.
But doing everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't realize that as humans, we are the only species that has this consciousness, like this
Yeah.
available, this access to our
Hmm.
emotions. And the emotions really are the fuel for our lived experience. And those are things that we can change if we take the time to really feel into that. And that gratitude unlocks everything. I wrote a note down on gratitude earlier today when I was like thinking about some of the things I wanted to say on the podcast today, but I wrote gratitude is not just a nice sentiment, it's a powerful creative force.
I love that I'm talking about stuff that you have written down.
No, I know. You didn't even know
No, I
like
have no idea what we're
isn't
talking
that
about
so
today.
powerful? It's a powerful creative
It
force.
is.
It is what unlocks this source energy in you that connects you to your higher power, to your higher purpose, and to attract those things into your life. So when people talk about the law of attraction, like the way you get there is by having the desire, rooting yourself so deeply into that outcome that you know it's going to happen, having faith in that outcome, getting out of doubt at all costs,
Yeah. And
whatever it
lack.
takes, and lack, and like trusting in the divine timing because it's not going to happen overnight. And
But
we're just seeing small things that are
right,
happening.
right.
We're not at our future selves.
No. Well, I'm almost there.
We're almost there. Exactly. But it's like,
In my mind, I'm
we
there.
know we're there, but that's why we're able to see this and
Yeah.
feel this way.
Yeah.
It's like to a point where not that we don't even care if the outcome happens, but it's more like the becoming of this frequency that is worth it all. And that's a available to you right now thing. So it's like you don't need to wait until you build the brand of your dreams. You can feel that way already.
Right.
And that's what's so freaking cool.
Going back to gratitude and having the feeling that comes over you when it's like real gratitude, that whole body kind of feeling. When you were speaking before about creating the vessel and creating something and having that desire, we you have to feel that same feeling when you before it's already created. I think that is like a missing link when
Mm-hmm.
people are trying to manifest their world is you can say all the things, but if you don't feel it internally and start to change that dialogue in the words that come out of your mouth, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So when I personally go to bed at night, I will just start to picture my future self and what's on my accountability page and expand on that. And I will literally, like the other night, had tears coming down my face because I was so happy to be there.
Oh my God, that's so powerful. I
And
literally just
that's,
like feel that for you.
yeah. And that's when you know.
That's when you know.
Yeah. But if you can't get to the feeling, then you can't manifest it.
Totally.
You have to feel it.
And if you really are trying and you can't get to that feeling, like you really got to think about, is
That for you?
that for you?
Or do you want it for some other reason? Because
Exactly.
your ego says.
Or society says, or you
Right.
think you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's what I wish that people would say more when it comes to dating, is it's not like, well, when it's meant to, it will happen. It's more when you're ready, when you feel it.
Yeah, and you have to do the work on yourself so you're open to what it is that you want to attract.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to attract whatever you are. Whatever you're going through right now in your life is what you're going to attract in. And do you really want that?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're feeling sick and tired of yourself, you're going to attract somebody who's sick and tired of themselves.
Yeah.
Like that's what we do.
It means that when you're single and when you're on your own, feeling that love so intensely that you don't even need that other person. You
Yeah.
just feel it so deeply. And then that's the frequency you're carrying. And that's the like magnet that pulls that meant to be person towards you.
Yeah.
It's because you're radiating this love and peace energy that you're rooting and feeling versus, like scarcity, like it's never going to happen for me. No one out there is up to my standards. Like I'm going to be alone forever. Like then that's the vibe you're giving off.
Right.
And you're going to continue to meet people that aren't ready and aren't interested and not in alignment.
Right.
It's like the second I really like started rooting in myself is when I feel like the doors open and things just happen. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And even like business opportunities, it's like easy to think and try to manipulate and control and be like, well, I should do this. But it's like, do I really want that? Can I feel myself in that space? Where do I really see myself? And that's what I think, like taking the stillness, whether it's meditating, journaling, walking, being quiet and
clearing out your environment,
feeling your heart.
That's a big one too.
I mean, I've had some profound shifts. The cleanse was one, also cleaning out my closet. I mean, we talked about the boxes. We named the episode Changing Boxes the last episode Lisa was
that's
on,
right.
which definitely check it out. One of my most listened to episodes. It's such incredible feedback from it. And, you really went deeper into your personal journey and how you got here. So if you want to know more about Lisa, definitely go listen to that one. But we were talking about in that episode how I was like kind of living in boxes from my move. But recently, and I think it's this Virgo energy too that we're in right now, but I've had this real desire to clear space. And my closet was kind of the last thing that was a nightmare. I've always been like that. Since I was a teenager, like I would like dig through piles of clothes to find what I was wearing. And I would know in my head like which pile it was in, but there was no organization in my life. And that was kind of how my life was.
Exactly. Right. So, I mean, you're saying clear space, not just in your house, but you needed to clear space in your head.
Exactly.
Because it's a mirror, right? Your environment is a mirror of what's going on in here.
It wasn't even 24 hours later after my closet was pristine. I donated 10 bags of clothes that I had the most profound meditation and complete clarity of where I want to go with my business.
Oh, yeah, you did.
It was 24 hours later, barely.
Yeah. And then the whole thing was wrote up in 48 hours. I was like, what? Go clean another
More
closet.
coming. It's just cool to see how it's all connected. And you really can't have one without the other. You can't have business success if you're so misaligned in your relationship. You can't have, the relationship if your house and clutter is taking over your brain. Like, it's all in alignment, body, mind, and
It's
soul.
all connected.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's all connected.
It is.
Because I don't want somebody that's listening to this to think, okay, just because I go clean out my closet, my world's going to change. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying?
totally.
Because it is a lot of little things that add up to that, but that could be the beginning. A 3-day juice cleanse could be the beginning.
Yeah.
That 3-day juice cleanse could turn into remodeling your home to something that you've always dreamed of. It could then that could turn into somebody saying, "Hey, did you want this?" And it's something that you always wanted to put in your house, and you're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that came to me." And so that's the energy that we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about.
Yes.
That's the frequency that shifts
Mm-hmm.
when our lack mindset shifts out, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I didn't want anybody to think, "Oh, if I clean my
No.
closet, like, yeah."
Yeah, it's the letting go. And I think these are just kind of ways that
Yeah,
I've
and they're
been
simple.
able to tangibly let go.
Yeah.
It's by doing some of these things that get me out of my comfort zone,
Mhm.
things that I avoid. I avoided a juice cleanse my entire life. I avoided cleaning out my closet my entire life. I avoided saying no to dudes I wasn't vibing with my entire life.
Yeah.
I avoided taking a beat off social media because I felt like I had to always have a presence there. It's just like these little things that I'm like, you know what? If I can dive into this and try to do something different, what might open from there? And that's where I think the changes happen. It's when you do the stuff you don't really want to do. There's a reason why you don't want to do it.
There's a big reason you don't wanna do it.
Yeah. It's not like I've never been the type of girl that's like, I'm gonna juice cleanse weekly so that I can keep my waist slim. Like I don't I get hangry when I don't eat. Like I did not want to do it at all. But it was
Right.
just a metaphor for the rest of my life and the ways that I was sticking to patterns that weren't serving, ways I was holding myself back.
If you don't wanna do something, that's a sign you should do it.
Totally.
It's as easy as that. That's a really great starting place, you know?
Absolutely.
If you're addicted to caffeine or cigarettes or whatever, and you're like, I can't quit," then that's telling you right there, that's
Mm-hmm.
holding you back.
It's holding you back completely.
There's something underneath that is the reason you do that, you
Totally.
know? So, that would be a great starting point.
Great starting point. And we both have over the years really let go of a lot of those big habits,
Oh, yeah.
whether it's drinking, I mean,
Yeah.
and I think, yeah, I want to empower people to make those shifts. And it doesn't have to be because you have a problem. It might just be because it's not serving you.
Yeah, it's not serving you, and not feeling like you have to go to every event and do everything or you're gonna be left out, you know? It just sometimes it's good to stay home and get to know you
Mm,
and be quiet and figure out what you like. Everybody has told you what you liked, so many people, and it's
mm-hmm,
really good to find out, "Do I really like that?
mm-hmm,
Or am I just doing that because that's the thing to do?" You know?
exactly. Yeah. And in that loneliness, I think is such a deep love that you can cultivate with yourself.
Yeah.
We put such a negative connotation on like solace and peace in your own world, and that you're not really worthy if you don't have this big social life or whatever it is. That loneliness is preparing the vessel.
Yeah. But, there's so much greatness inside that loneliness. I don't even look at it now for myself as loneliness.
Hmm.
I look at it as, God, I'm so grateful that I have this time to figure out what it is I want to do or where I want to go. And
And
just
what's cool is
different
you
perspective.
don't even need to figure it out. It's like just coming home to your natural self.
Yeah.
It's almost like unfiguring it out.
Right. True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love, and, like, that gives me peace from someone who's always felt like you have to do. It's like, what a relief to know that you can not do.
Which is really hard for
It's
me.
just really hard for us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very hard.
But it's such a profound yet simple way to get back to your heart's true core, because when we think about the exposure that we have our whole lives to, now even more so, like, social media, influences, distractions, like, all of that that's taking us away from who we really wanna be.
Right. Yeah. And when you're scrolling, you have to ask why you're scrolling.
Mhm.
What else could you be doing?
What else could you be doing
Like,
exactly?
go read a book, go take a walk,
Mm,
call a friend. Like,
mhm.
there's sit still. Like, there's so much because with scrolling, it's not that I'm not on Instagram. I'm really not on that a whole lot anymore at all. But I started to think, do I really think that other people's lives are more important than mine?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of stuff that I'd like to do for me. Why am I sitting here?
Mhm.
You know, so that was like kind of the end for me.
For me, it can be a way to bring my mental space away from my own thoughts.
Uh,
It's a numbing.
Yeah,
It's an addiction.
yeah, it's numbing.
Yeah, and so it's just the same way that I would, smoke weed to not think about things. You can scroll and not think about things. And it's can be more damaging than just being a distraction.
Yeah,
It's like taking that time away from yourself and your
right.
heart's core and this opportunity that you have to build yourself.
It's a very useful tool.
It's
It's
very
just
useful.
you have to have little constraints.
Yeah, boundaries.
Yeah, when you're using it,
Yep. In
you
the
know?
same way that we wouldn't, or unless you have a problem, drink all day, every day. We're on our phones all day, every day. It is just a energy drain,
Yeah, it is.
and it's utilizing it for the benefits that it has, in the same way as food or anything else.
Yep.
So we're getting ready to go back to Dr. Joe.
Yeah, I can't wait. 3 weeks. Today. 3 weeks
Oh
from today.
my God. Yeah. So Lisa and I first did the advanced retreat, which was a 7-day retreat that changed both of our lives
Yeah. I
completely.
still can't really talk about all of it yet.
I know. It's
I
so
don't
wild.
yeah.
Um, and we're doing the follow up to the advanced retreat. So it's 3 days, but I'm sure will be a jam packed 3 days in
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah, Thursday through Sunday. It's gonna be jam-packed. It's probably from, like, 4 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And at
And
what time we got up? 4 o'clock in the morning?
yeah,
Yeah.
we did one meditation that started at 4. So we were like wandering down there at 3:30. But I think this time that we've had to really dial into this work has been profound for us in preparing for that
Mhm.
next version. I think we're going to get totally different experience out of this one because we're different people going into this one. Last time was really just like the first dipping my toe into like cracking myself open, and then the work began for me. Now I think this will be a way to really dive into this next portal that's
Right.
our both of our highest versions, and it will be really cool to do the work together and have the experience again. So I'm looking forward to it with you.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and if you recall, you had never meditated really until I threw you into Dr. Joe,
I
so
had maybe tops
anybody can do
meditated
it.
for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, so you did
Anyone could
5
do it.
hours.
That's why I'm
Right.
so passionate, is like, I'm not this like woo woo spiritual girl that came out the womb this way. Like,
No. No.
like if these things can work on me, they are available to all of us. It's, meditating is free. Stillness is free.
And you realize it's not woo-woo.
It's not
It is
science.
all science-based,
Mhm.
you know?
It's the brain.
Otherwise, I probably I wouldn't be going.
No, for sure.
it has to be proven to me,
Mm.
and that's why I love Dr. Joe.
It's the same way as you have to train multiple times throughout the week in order
Right.
to build your muscles. You have to train your brain multiple times a week in order to find that peace. It's really goes hand in hand. Meditating is should be looked at in the same way we work out our bodies physically, because the data that Dr. Joe and others who are gathering it from the scientific standpoint on what meditation can do for the
Yeah.
body is absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah, and even more data now, which I'm so excited to find out how they've, like, gone deeper and
Mhm.
just reading the emails and stuff, so I'm really excited to dive into that.
I mean, he's done like over 60 of these retreats now,
Yeah.
week-long advanced retreats, over
It's a
60
lot.
of them, where at every single one of them, he has people who are donating their data.
Yeah,
So
right,
it's
yeah.
like everything from gut microbiome to breast milk to
And heart,
brain scans, heart,
blood.
blood, pulse, everything. And they're analyzing it all. And it's people from all over the world, all different genders, races,
Yeah,
shapes, sizes. Like,
yeah,
and the data is, as Dr. Joey says, not just validating, astounding.
it
And
is.
I think it's so hopeful in this time where collectively, we're in a heavy space. Like, we're at a time where we're realizing the systems in place aren't serving us in the way that we hoped they would. It's time for a change. And this is available to us and should be part of hopefully mainstream healthcare in the future. So I'm excited to share about it and be part of it and, for other people to learn the value.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the Cheekies have gotten some inspiration out of this episode
Yeah, I hope so.
today. I hope it's a reminder of the growth, the peace, and the limitless self that's available to you if you want it.
Yeah.
And you can attract that to you in the same way that Lisa and I are finding this peace and grace on the journey together. And we're here to grow with you. Lisa, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of
Always fun.
course, always. We'll have you again back with Dr. Jones process and talk it through when we're our next
After we
versions.
integrate a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always going to be studying, learning, and growing because that's what's so beautiful about this life. Always having you on to share is
Yeah.
badass.
There's not enough time in the day to learn it.
There's not. But
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
you. You guys know always you can find me at The Cheeky Clean on Instagram. For more resources and our past podcasts, you can go to thecheekyclean.com. And to shop all clean, Cheeky approved products, you can go to the Shop My at the link below. We love you. We'll see you soon.